Hey guys, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me discussing the books I plan to read in February. And thankfully this pile is not nearly as large as the pile that I had for January or December. But she's still a little thick, so I'm winded somehow. Let's get into the video. So the first book on this list I currently do not physically own. She's coming in the mail. But that is the second book to the Dragori series, and that is Found in the Night by Ben Alderson. This is the second book in the Dragori trilogy, and it essentially follows the events directly after the first book. And the first book consists of Zachariah. He and his friends have been essentially kind of taken hostage, but not really, to be part of the king's army because they are all shifter elves. And all he wants to do is really stay low because his powers don't involve shifting, they involve something else entirely. But that kind of gains the attention of the ever-amazing Prince Hadrian, and things ensue from there, and it's gay elves who shapeshift and magic. And that's really all you need to know about the series. This is part of a read-along for me with my two other friends, Maddie and TB. I will link their channels down below. We read the first book last month and the second this month, and then we'll be finishing off the series next month. So I'm very excited to get into this. I believe it said my copy should either arrive on February 7th or on February 14th. So that means I either have it leading up to Valentine's Day to remind me how magically single I am, or we get it on Valentine's Day and I get discount chocolate, a nice bath, and some wine, and a book about gay elves. So I can't lose in this situation. We're going to continue on with the heaviest book in this series, and it's part for another read-along. I have a lot of read-alongs. And that is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is an adult high fantasy novel, and all I know is that it involves dragons. There's apparently an orange tree, and it is queer. There are some queer characters in here that were not explained in the synopsis or really mentioned until the book had been released. Like I said, I'm reading this with my friend Sarah from String Bean Books. I will leave her channel link down below. She's part of the OG book Twitter chat that I always mention on this channel, or that I now mention on my channel. I'm excited to get into this. This book can kill a man. This is a heartbound book, and if I include the glossary and the timeline, there are 827 pages in this book. Thankfully though, my library has an ebook version, so I can lug the Kindle around when I go to work, because this book does not fit in my purse at all. I could kill a man with this, and I love it, but it does not fit in my purse. And nor do I want to potentially wreck my purse's straps trying to carry this book. So, following along the lines of read-alongs, I am currently participating in a group with my group Twitter book chat friend. I don't know what to call our group chat anymore. My book Twitter group chat pals. We have been reading through the first original trilogy of the Grishaverse, and then we will continue on to Six of Crows, King of Scars, and all that fun stuff. And right now we are currently reading Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. This is the third and final book of the original Grishaverse trilogy, where things kind of come to a head. I have vlogged my recent experiences with the first two books, so if I remember I will leave those linked down below, but if not, I have a playlist with all my reading vlogs, and the list is not very long, so you can find that easily. And I'm already part of the way into it. I started reading it yesterday, and I'm finding so far that it's going by a lot faster than the first two books. The characters, some of them, one with the potential M name, is finally getting some development, which I'm very thankful for. I can't get too much into it because I have a reading vlog on this and I'm not even fully done yet, but I'm excited to finish off the series. Thus far, the series has not been living up to the hype that will eventually bleed into Six of Crows. So I'm hoping that Six of Crows somehow gets better than this. But so far, the third book, I don't know how long the gap was between Siege and Storm and Ruin and Rising, but I feel like the third book, in terms of more mature writing, it has definitely gotten there. So I'm really happy to have seen that, and I'm hoping the writing continues to get better and better and better, because I know that Leigh is an amazing author just from everyone else's kind of standpoint. The next book is actually a reread for me, and that is Raging Harlan by Chester Himes. I read this way back in university, 2 years ago, so it's not super way back, but it's still back there. Chester Himes is a black author who wrote kind of this black detective novel while he was in Paris trying to make money. And I believe he is one of the few black detective authors, if not the first black detective author. I remember having read this book for a class, and I read this via audiobook, which Samuel L. Jackson narrates the audiobook. So it was a lot fun reading this book. And I've been meaning to pick it up and reread it physically without the audiobook, because I don't know if Audible will listen to audiobooks without a subscription. So there's that. If you guys know, let me know. But it was this was a really good book from what I remember, and I need to pick it up again. I know there's apparently a movie that is based off this book, so this is more like reason for me to pick up the book again and see how I like it to the movie. Essentially, this follows, I'm gonna just read the back because it's been so long since I read this book that I can't even remember. But this is the synopsis. For the love of fine, wily Immobile hapless Jackson loses his life savings to a con man who knows the secret of turning $10 bills into hundreds, and steals from his boss only to lose the stolen money at a crap table. Luckily for him, Jackson has a savvy twin brother, Goldie, who, disguised as a sister of Mercy, earns a living by selling tickets to heaven in Harlem. Now for the big payback. I'm excited to get back into this book. Like I said, I liked this book when I first read it, so I'm assuming I'm gonna like it again. The next book I don't know too much about it, but that is Friday Black by Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. I feel like the pause is making it sound like I'm saying that it's two different people, but it's one person. My tongue is just struggling pronouncing words. But this is an anthology series. I know it's a debut novel. I really don't know what the anthology series is about, but my friend and I had picked this book up because we found it at a bookstore while we were taking a day trip out to Berkeley. I believe she's read it already, and I think she's enjoyed it, but I'm excited to get into this. This is a debut novel, and I have heard absolutely nothing about this author, so very excited to pick this up. And hopefully, come my wrap-up, I'll be able to pronounce her name without taking a pause and confusing my tongue and probably everyone else. I'm really sorry again. I hate that they broke it up too, because I feel like I should take a pause between Kwame and Adjei. Adjei? I'll learn how to pronounce her name before my wrap-up, I promise, pinky swear, because this is frustrating me and I don't know why I'm struggling so much. Nana Kwame Adjei-Brenyah. Yes, we'll go with that until someone tells me otherwise. The second to last book, actually these next two books are presents that I received from Christmas, but this first one is Other Words for Smoke by Sarah Maria Griffin. My friend Ethel gifted this to me for Christmas. Thank you, Ethel. Look at the sprayed edges. Anyway, I don't know a ton about this book. All I know is that my friend Ethel really enjoyed it because she read it before she sent it to me. But this essentially just involves witches. There's a bisexual character in here, and it's in Ireland, and there's an owl on the cover. That's all I need to know. So I'm excited to pick this up for this month. Ethel and mine reading tastes tend to line up pretty well, so I'm not too concerned about not liking a book that she bought for me. And like, look, it's all rose gold and there's pink. It's just my aesthetic. It really is just my aesthetic. And the last book is one that I'm very excited for as well, and it's been kind of making its rounds around BookTube, and that is This Is How You Lose a Time War by Amal El-Motar and translated by Max Gladstone. I believe this is originally a French novel translated into English, and all I know is that this involves a time war. People are time traveling, and these two women, who I believe their names is Blue and Red, are on opposing ends and are writing letters to each other and hiding it in pieces of time. And that's all I need to know. But yeah, I just see that Madeline Miller blurbed this, so I'm super excited. I can't wait to pick it up. I have heard nothing but good things about this book, so I have a feeling I'm going to love it and I'm going to cry, because that seems to be a running theme in my life. But that is it for the books I plan on reading in February. I have a feeling I'm going to get through most of these books, primarily because they're pretty short or quicker paced books, aside from Priory of the Orange Tree, but we're not going to get into her. Let me know what books you guys are planning on reading in February. Yes, in February. Let me know if you want me to do a review on one of these books. But until next time, hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And I'll speak to you guys in my next video, which will be my January wrap-up. But until then, have a great week, and I'll see you guys literally everywhere else. Bye!